How you doing? This is your boy Tahuti, aka Symmetry, and we are back with a whole cosmic conversations. I didn't even write the question down this time because it's short, real short. The answer can be real long though. So, big fan of this question. Um, and honestly, ask more questions like this. Whatever, it's fine. I don't know. Sometimes I'll get questions and they won't even be questions. They'll just be long, long statements, and I'm like, okay, I get it. You want me to understand you, but this isn't really applicable for like a conversation for everybody. You're just like personally trying to talk to me about something, and it's like that's a question that you just want me to talk to you about. So questions that are collective, the more collective the question, the higher chance it has to get answered on the cosmic conversations. This question is lit. It is, what is the main difference, in my opinion, between men and women? And this can go like so many different ways. Men and women. So first, we just have to really boil down what men and women are. Men is yang, women are yin. Men are thoughts, women are feelings. Men are external, women are internal. So it's important to note then that all of us, if you're any kind of spirit or any space, you are both external and internal. You are both yang and yin. So you're both a man and a woman. And when you are expressing yourself, you are basically a child of yourself, because anytime you express yourself, you're having sex in your mind based on how you combine your thoughts and feelings. So when we're talking about like men, then men are just women who are focused on one feeling. So then that's where, to get elemental, men would be the earth, whereas women would be the water. And that's where the whole point of men or thoughts is to provide a structure for feelings, to provide order to the chaos. So when we think about feelings, right, they're just everywhere. Like if you live as an actual emotional entity, you're not going to be sustainable. You won't actually have structure in your life, literally. Like if we think about people who just they want to work out, and not even they want to work out, they want to be ripped and strong and big and muscular. So they decide to work out, but they don't really work out that much because it's hard. They don't like feeling pain, and they would rather feel the pleasure of eating sugar and fast food and all this other stuff. That would be where we can see that emotions are completely unsustainable. So the point of being a man then is to look at all these emotions, all of infinity, and pick one. Like you, because if you can't have all of like what it all of it like, that's infinite. So this is why like women are infinite. Women are vibrations. Women are eight-dimensional energy. Men are seven-dimensional energy. Seven being light, eight being darkness, nine being a spirit that has control over these things, and then goes and creates a 10, a heaven, with the greater awareness it has, which is the whole point of us being alive. I'm pretty sure you'll resonate with this. This way, all religions certainly capitalize upon is a spirit's desire to be in heaven. And then what is heaven? Heaven, in most people's cases, is having a bunch of spirits around them that they can be alone with because they can be all one with them. And it's both. So it's about having a balance. And that's the point of a family. Someone who's in your family, in your spirit soul group family, is someone that you can be all one with because you both support each other being alone, and you both support yourselves when you're alone. So a lot of relationships in the earth realm, in this especially America, are horrible because it's people connecting because they don't want to be alone. So they only want to be all one because they're afraid of being alone. So as a spirit, that looks like you don't like your woman, like you don't like your own feelings. But then it's like, yeah, see, and that's where gender does get to be kind of weird. When we're thinking about, you don't like your own feelings, but that looks like you don't like being alone. So it looks like you don't like being a man. And see how it like flips. So then a man is only as good as his feelings. So thoughts are only as good as the feelings that they come from. You literally, a thought is just a hyper specific feeling. That's literally what a thought is. That's all a thought is. A hyper specific feeling, and that feeling vibrates in that feeling so much, it's not a feeling, it's a fact now. Right? Like a fact is something that is felt so strongly you can't debate it any else otherwise. That's the point, and it's still all just feeling then. So that's why like it's still feminine. Like the spirit is overall feminine because the spirit is overall internal when we think about nothingness and infinity. But then the moment we want to experience infinity, we have to become men because we have to consume ourselves. So this is what women, like women give birth to man. Like you're not going to see a man that didn't come out of a woman. Like we can talk about men and all the sexism that men have built up against women all day. On a spiritual level, the fact is women created this. Like, you know, literally every man came out of a woman and then they're raised by women. So something is up with women and their feelings as to why they would want to create men that treat them so horribly and why they would want to make men that consume them in a way that they don't even want to be consumed. So that's where it's important for everyone in this reality to like get in check with their man and woman, their thoughts and feelings, because it's basically all coming down to spirits not wanting to be alone. Like so many women would rather be in abusive relationships with men or just people, but in abusive relationships with men for so long, for maybe forever, would rather be in an abusive relationship with a man than be alone. And you literally can't know what she has going on in her subconscious world. You don't know why she would rather be treated this way in the light realm than be alone in her dark realm. So whatever's going on in her dark realm is some really awful stuff that then manifests as bad in the light realm. And then we can look at the abusive relationships and be like, whoa, she's not getting treated properly. And it's like, yeah, she's not. And it's crazy because she's spiritually creating that for herself every day. Like, we can't step in and take a woman out of an abusive relationship. She's creating it for herself. And all you can do is sit back and learn and ask why. And then, help the ones who are open to not being in that relationship. But the whole point is people just not wanting to be alone. So that's where it's people not wanting spirits in this case, not wanting to be masculine. They don't want to be alone. They don't want to be on their own. They would rather connect with someone else. But then the fact is, if you don't want to be alone, that means you don't want to connect with yourself. And if you don't want to connect with yourself, then why should anyone connect with you? Because whatever reasons you don't want to connect with yourself, you're only going to bring to whoever you connect with. So because you would rather not meditate and fast and do all this internal work of like connecting with your spirit and like actually getting like masculine in that case of being like, okay, I'm this external version and I need to get to my internal, versus like, okay, I'm this external and I need to connect with this other external, and then always keep going without instead of within. So we're talking about the epidemic in that case of spirits not wanting to be alone. And this is the main difference between men and women as energy, where thoughts, man, loves to be alone. Women, feelings, love to be all one. So man, thoughts, likes to feel separate, the ego. Women, feelings, like to feel connected, the soul. So when we think about how the universe is made then, There's three universes, and it's all one universe. But there's the unobservable universe. That's the fire. That's the masculine realm. That's the spirits who like to be alone, or they just are alone, and that's either heaven or hell, because that is based on vibration. So like you can be in fiery heaven because you love yourself so much that you're at a high vibration and you're going everywhere and able to do anything, or you're in hell and you're in a low vibration because you're constantly chasing desires instead of being desireless because you forgot that you were nothing. And that's like the whole thing with men in that case, is that they get lost in being alone because you can never do anything alone. So the fact is, we're all alone. That's the thing. We are all infinite individual spaces of nothingness. And the point is that we create bodies and externalize ourselves because we want to connect with others. And now we can get all the lostness, all the systems of how we connect with others. The fact of the matter is feminine, though. The fact is, we are in water. We are in the all one realm. And water is the vibration. Okay, we're not in the frequency. Now, the vibration comes from the frequency. So we're in the vibration. It just looks, then we can only experience it as air and earth. So water is life. Everything is vibrating. So when you look at light, it's like, okay, it's vibrating at a certain frequency. So it's feeling at a certain intention based on the spirit. So it has, you follow me? Like it's feeling, it's vibrating. So this energy down here is vibrating at a certain intention because of the spirit. So that's nothingness, fire, water, and then air and earth. Because the point of air is to communicate, and the point of earth is to stabilize communication. So literally, your human body, nothing in your body works if it's not communicating. Your whole body is air in that case. And then really it's earth because it is a solidified structure from all the particles in the air. And look at that, you have to constantly breathe to live here. Again, anyone who doesn't want you to breathe wants to kill you. Any system that is trying to convince you to not breathe wants to disconnect you from life. It's creating disease inside of you. I don't care about the logic of like, yeah, but that, well, you know, they said that, what? No, you need to breathe. Don't breathe and see what happens. Breathing keeps you connected to the simulation. Anyone who does not want you to breathe wants you to die. And then they're going to make a lot of money giving you whatever fake health things they're claiming will keep you alive because you were ignorant enough to just not breathe and to limit your breathing because you let them convince you that's what would make you healthy. So then when you're experiencing disease over time because you're not breathing, so now your body's not connected and it's not communicating properly, now you get lost in more logic of like, okay, but if I consume these medicines, I'll get healthier. So that's toxic masculinity. That's man. Man is obsessed with consuming the universe. And that's how man is death. That's fire. You see? So women are life. This is why women are the womb. They're the container for life. They're the container for seed, the container for fire. That's how chi is made. When we're looking at like a water womb and you get that masculine fire, boom, now you actually have the steam. And now everything's actually connected through communication. So that's where everything in the universe is connected based on how much spirits feel like externalizing their internal realm. I don't have to be here saying this. It's literally all based on me feeling like showing up every day to do what I do and put in the work I put in, because that's the feeling expression of my spirit. And this is why feeling is everything. And women are everything. The spirit is inherently feminine because, and just to break it down, not masculine and feminine, let's just say numbers. Although the spirit is an individual, as far as all of us being nothing, we're all individual spirits. So anytime we have a desire, that shows an individual part of nothingness. That is your imagination. You only you have your individual desires. No one else has the desires that you have. Now they will all ride the same feelings because we're all connected by feeling. We're all connected by women. We're all connected by water. But the way that looks is going to be infinitely masculine. We all desire to consume our feelings in infinitely different ways. And then that's what a spirit is. That's where we get the three. So when a spirit needs to actually create life, it's literally about taking two opposite poles of nothingness. So this is what women are, is two opposite poles of nothingness, whereas a man is just one pole. So that's why a man would literally be death, because it's actually just like on one side of the pole. Big gracias. That's fire. Yes. Yeah. Gang. Um, that's how women give life. And the whole point of women creating man is to stabilize their own feelings, stabilize how they experience life. So when we think about how like all of life, everything in life comes from a woman, we can blame men as much as we want, but we need to know that like the more we blame men, the more we literally take power from women in the fact that they're creating the men that they're blaming. So like you need to point the finger at yourself as a woman. When you know that you are an infinite womb of cosmic creation, it's got to be like, why am I letting these men consume me in this way? And why am I creating these circumstances where I am like using my infinite womb of creation to get upset at men for doing something I let them do to me? You don't deserve that as a woman, bro. Very whack. The toxic masculine trap that this white supremacist world has us in. Because it's truly then everyone being lost in fire. Everyone is lost in consciousness, in masculine ideology, in the idea that they can consume their way to freedom. Or like they can eat so much inside of this simulation that they can break out. As if that logic somehow works. So that's really the main difference between men and women. Um, Men are fire. Men like to be alone. Women are water. So women like to be all one. So when we think about three universes, there is infinite nothingness, the ultimate universe of just like spirit and totally beautiful. I could cry right now just thinking about the possibilities of zero. And inside of that zero, we have a fire realm, which would be the unobservable universe. The unobservable universe is where all the spirits who want to be separate from nothingness and connect with themselves are. So that's where like you kind of just go when you die. Basically, you'll go to the unobservable universe, because you're gonna go to your heaven / hell / your fire. So when you read in the Bible, and it's talking about like heaven, or not heaven, but hell is a lake of fire. It's literally just all about your imagination, right? Like you, that's all they can. That's literally all hell is. Like the Bible says it right there. Elementally, fire is your imagination. Like whatever desires, evil stuff you're lost in, that's hell. And you're in that all the time, whether you're in a body or not. Like you're either in heaven or hell. You're always in your desires or imagination if you're externalizing yourself from nothingness. Boom. So then that's where the Bible, just religion, works as a trap, because if people feel like they're in hell mentally, and that's why they made a body in the all one realm to run away from their hell, now they're going to get more indoctrinated in another family's idea of like how they can get to heaven based on how they're already in hell. But it's all just light, and it's all desire. It's all desire. So then that's where we boil down to women are desireless and men are desireful, if we had to put it one on the other. And then the whole point is that a spirit is both desireless, and desireful. If a spirit is internal, it's desireless. If a spirit is external, it's desireful, because a spirit desires to do something that it can't do when it's doing nothing. And ultimately, spirit's nothing, which is the true infinite, just everything has to come out of nothing. So this world is obsessed with making us believe that energy cannot be created or destroyed, right? I was forced to learn and regurgitate that lie in school to be considered smart enough to be a slave for the white supremacists who stole this land from my family. Forced to regurgitate that lie, right? All of us. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It's a Luciferian lie. It's only a lie meant to trap you in this simulation and disconnect you from your spirit, disconnect you from the fact that you are creating something from nothing all the time. All based on how much you feel like it. So it's infinitely feminine in that case. Because you as a man, and I'm talking to you as a spirit, so all of you are men in that case, because you're all in bodies as a spirit. But then as a man, you are only as good as your woman. So as a body, you're only as good as your soul. As a conscious mind, you're only as good as your subconscious mind. As a thought, you're only as good as your feeling. As earth, you're only as good as your water, right? Think about these evil entities ruling this planet wanting to turn it into Mars, right? They want to make all the earth dry and not full of water, not actually life. Because that's the thought. That's the thought that they have and desire, where it's supposed to be all shiny metal. Because really they want to take fire to this dry earth to turn it into shiny, clean metal and separate you from life. The AI robots and all that Matrix stuff. So that's where men, being earth, their structure is one, earth is just water reflecting in on itself and creating something. And then from there, it's water that is a block, and then it grows based on how much more water is put into it to actually have life. So really everything's women. Men are just women. Everyone does what they feel like. This is why humans are irrational creatures, because everything is emotional. Your heart is pumping because you feel like pumping it from the spirit realm. People have heart attacks because they feel like dying. Like, and I'm just saying, people have heart attacks because their spirits don't feel like pumping their heart anymore. If it's a real heart attack, like if their heart actually stops pumping, like if you think about how long and hard a heart can pump, there's no reason it should ever stop. It's infinite technology. Your heart would only stop based on an external factor. But we're talking about a heart attack from a feeling. That's literally your spirit being like, you know what? I don't feel like operating this body anymore. Let's just detach the subconscious, stop pumping that heart, bro. On to the next, and then just another simulation. You feel me? Because death ain't anything. But really, death is truth. Because all of life is a lie. Anytime you start to live, it's because you confine yourself to some kind of light structure that's distracting you from nothingness. That's why life is a lie. Death being the truth, the way I'm using it, death is the infinite, watery, feminine astral realm. That's the soul. That's the mental world. That is where like anything is possible, because you can die, leave the simulation, and be like, oh, okay, wait, I see that like that is a world and it's attached to all these other worlds, and I have this awareness and it's lit. It's truly based on your awareness, though. So that's why you're riding with me. Our awareness is always ascending every single second and millisecond and all the little things in between. It's just truly feeling. It's pretty awesome. So this is the main difference, I'd say, between men and women. Men like to be alone. Women like to be all one. Men are thoughts. Women are feelings. Men are earth. Women are water. It's interesting the way I'm using that in that case. That's where I resonate more with men being earth. Because really, men are fire, women are water. Because men are one and women are two. And then you come together to get three, and that's the actual spirit. the externalization of nothing. This is why 3693 is the perfect number. And 360 is a circle, right? 3 6D comedy, but 0, 3 plus 6, the 9. So you already have 3, 6, 9, and 0 all in there. So men, like, I'm just saying, as far as men then being more earth, I resonate as a man of actually like putting structure to feelings, so that we can actually all communicate in a much greater way. Um, Really, air is the external version of fire. Earth is the external version of water. Um, so yeah, there you go. So fire, internal, water, internal, air, external, earth, external. Um, so in this case, in the universe, fire is being alone. So hellish spirits don't like their man. They don't like their thoughts. They don't like their thoughts when they're alone. They don't like their men. So they feel like connecting with other spirits. And on a universal level, that looks like earth. That looks like a lot of simulations where you get spirits creating bodies just to connect with other spirits because they don't like their own thoughts. And then that's where they will get lost in religions, because any talk about being saved from hell resonates with them based on how their thoughts are hell. And they're in hell all the time because they don't like their thoughts. And they're putting all their woman, their feeling into thoughts. So then that's where you get the concept of demons, because you have the original thought and then the opposing thought. The thought that must counterbalance the first thought. So when people already don't like their first thoughts, then they're trying to like find opposing thoughts that resonate. But really, other spirits can just pose these opposing thoughts to trap them, instead of actually helping them, or helping them learn how to love their thoughts and get back to a desireless place, because those spirits see that these spirits don't like their thoughts, and because these spirits also don't like their thoughts, or they're so entirely narcissistic, like perhaps Lucifer, they love their thoughts so much that they don't want anyone to relate with them if it's not based on relating with their thoughts. And then that's where you get religion, where the religion is like, hey, I'm God, you're not shit. And here's a whole book about how you're ugly, you're not shit, you're full of sin. I made you, but I fucked up, so I need to send someone and sacrifice them, and you need to worship them forever to get to me, because you're nothing compared to them, let alone me. So much logical lostness that you would only resonate with if you kind of felt like that already. So women like to be all one. This is why women think collectively. Women are water. They're about feelings. They're empathetic. They're the ones who actually create life in this realm, whereas men generally take it away. And both are necessary. But which one do you prefer, right? Creating life or destroying life?